You are grinding and nobody is clapping. You have put in the years, the early mornings, the work no one sees, the raise that never came, the people promoted past you who were not better, only louder. And somewhere in the 40th month of the grind, a quiet voice starts asking the question that kills men slowly. What is the point? Why keep pushing when the world does not seem to notice you exist? 44 BC, a sickly 18-year-old gets word that his great uncle, Julius Caesar, has been stabbed to death in Rome and left him everything. The name, the money, and every enemy Caesar ever made. Hardened generals laughed at him. Mark Antony, the most powerful man in the country, called him a boy who owed it all to a name. Nobody gave him a year. 13 years later, that boy had outlasted, outmaneuvered, and buried every one of them, and made himself the first emperor of Rome. He ruled for 40 years. Every Caesar who came after copied his playbook. His name was Augustus, and his whole life is a lesson in the one thing you are doing right now and hating: the grind. Two men explain how he won it: a Stoic emperor and a Florentine who studied power until it had no secrets left: Marcus Aurelius and Machiavelli. Start with the thing eating you, the feeling that the grind is pointless because no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius ran the largest empire on earth and woke up under that same weight. His answer was hard and freeing at once. The reward is not the point, the work is the point. Do the task in front of you, he told himself, as if it were the last thing you would ever do, with full seriousness and no self-pity. The applause is not in your control. The promotion is not in your control. The only thing in your hands is the quality of the next thing you do. So you pour everything into that and you let the rest go. And when the unfairness lands, the worst man promoted, the credit stolen, he had a rule for that too. The damage he found was rarely in the event. It was in his judgment of the event and the judgment he could change. The man who wronged you controls what he did. Whether it owns your week is your call, not his. He went one step further. The obstacle becomes the road. A trained mind turns the thing blocking it into the way forward. The bad boss, the dead year, the project that died on the runway, that is the exact material the next version of you gets built from. There is nothing else to build from, so you use it. But stoic patience on its own makes a calm man who gets passed over forever. You need the other half. You need to be ready to strike the day the moment comes, and the moment always comes. Machiavelli spent his life watching who rose and who rotted, and he found the difference. Fortune, he wrote, governs about half of what happens to us and leaves the other half in our hands. The men who win are not luckier than you. They are readier. But it cold. Fortune shows her power where no one prepared to resist her and turns her force where no walls were raised. The lucky break finds the man who used the boring years to build skill nobody asked him to build. So the grind is not you waiting for your chance. The grind is you forging the weapon you will need the day your chance walks through the door. Augustus spent his underestimated years learning every man in Rome, buying loyalty, and mastering the machinery of the state while his rivals drank. When the openings came, he was the only one ready to take them. And when it comes, you do not flinch. Machiavelli says it is better to be bold than careful, because fortune yields to the man who comes at her hard and slips away from the one who is cold and cautious. Patience without the nerve to strike is only fear that learned to wait. When your day comes, you move before the careful men finish thinking. The grind has people in it, and some of them are against you. Machiavelli is the most useful man alive here. He watched the enemies who rise against a man become the ladder he climbs. Fortune, he wrote, makes enemies form against a new man so that by crushing them he mounts higher as up a ladder his enemies raised for him. The rival trying to bury you is handing you the wind that makes your name, and on whether to be liked or respected at work he is blunt. Men injure someone they love more easily than someone they fear, because love holds by a thread of obligation that snaps the moment it costs them, and fear holds by a dread that never lets go. Be useful, be fair, and be a man it costs something to cross. None of it runs without the engine, and the engine is discipline on the gray days. Jocko Willink says it plainest. If you do not believe you are disciplined, it is only because you have not decided to be. Not yet. The grind is won on the 1,000 gray mornings you feel nothing at all, when the alarm goes off in the dark and your feet hit the floor before the weak voice finishes its excuse. Some days you win, some days you lose. You show up the next day anyway. That is the whole game. And if the worst happens, if the career you built collapses, the grind still saves you, because the grind is who you are, not what you have. Machiavelli knew that one personally. He rose to the top of Florence, ran its wars and its diplomacy, and then the government fell and the new masters arrested him, tortured him on the rope until his shoulders tore, and threw him out to rot on a small farm with nothing. His career was over at 43. So in the evenings, in a borrowed shirt, he sat down and wrote a small book about how power actually works. He called it The Prince. 500 years later, the men who tortured him are a footnote, and his book is read in every language on earth. They took his career. They could not take the grind in him. So go back to the 18-year-old everyone wrote off. Augustus did not win because fortune loved him. He won because he held his half like a stoic and struck his half like a wolf. He outweighted men with more power and outmoved men with more fame, and he turned a borrowed name into 40 years on the throne of the world. You are in your underestimated years right now. The work no one claps for is the weapon you are forging. Hold what you can control, drop what you cannot, and stay ready, because fortune turns for the man who built the walls before the storm. Keep your nerve, keep your discipline. And the day your moment walks through the door, do not be the one still getting ready. The grind is where the man who wins gets made. Everyone else is just waiting to be noticed. So what are you building in the years no one is watching?